Hey guys, I want to welcome you and let you know how great it is to have you here for the Greater Purpose Podcast.
What's up? Welcome to the Greater Purpose Podcast from the Cubs room.
Hey, right here in the Cubs room, I'm telling you, man.
What do you think?
Hey, well,
You don't want to. You can be true. You can be honest.
I see Cubs everywhere I live.
Right. Yeah. I've heard the word obsession. I've heard all kinds of words when people come here. So yeah. Obviously a passion of mine. So but but not as strong as my passion for Christ and the passion for Christ that the guys come up in here do. So before I introduce my guest to you, I do want to remind you to go to the. I like to do this thing, and then that way it's a visual. Now I can put a slide up there and make it all fancy and stuff, but we'll just do this.
There you go.
So you go to the-greater-purpose.com and you can catch up on the 74 previous episodes, and make sure you subscribe, like, share, do all that kind of stuff. We'll also put a link up for Ko-fi, K-O-F-I. It's a website where you can contribute as little as $2 a month to help support the podcast and get some. We invest in software. We do some stuff.
And I need coffee.
And coffee. Yeah. So we can provide coffee for our guests. Now, our guest today brought his own coffee, so that was kind of nice. But we do offer water and stuff like that. So, but we try to take care of our guests here. But Jett Edwards, so great to have you here, my friend.
Pleasure. Sorry I couldn't make it before.
No, that's okay. I'm glad you're here, and it fit right in. Perfect timing. Yeah. God's timing is always perfect, all right?
It is.
So I've known you for several years now. So, but well, some of them do know you, I'm sure. But why don't you tell everybody out there who Jett Edwards is?
Well, a country boy that was born in Kings Mountain, North Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm a
he's speechless. No,
recording artist. I'm talking about myself.
No, I get it. That's okay.
It's nothing that I really. I do music. I'm a international recording artist. I tour. I have written quite a few hit songs for different artists. Hey, I'm a man of God. I try to, each day I try to, stay in my lane.
Yep.
I have a nonprofit organization here in the Carolinas, right here in Charlotte. It's called Believers Today. You can check us out at believerstoday.org. It is a music outreach ministry that specializes in trauma care.
Okay, cool.
So, that's pretty much. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's fine. We can put that in the comments too, so they can find the link to that. That'd be great. Cool deal. And he's been involved in our men's conference. He was our music 2 years ago, so we appreciated that. We also had you lined up for Country Fest one year with your group.
Yeah, rained out.
So rained out the whole thing. Yeah. So that was also a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So appreciate that. So
you still doing that?
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Okay. Matter of fact, it's in October. Really? First Saturday in October. So Country Fest with the gospel stage and all that good stuff.
Okay. Well, I hope I'm here to get in.
Why don't you do it? That'd be great. There you go. There's your invitation here on camera.
Well,
what do you think of that?
Can't deny it.
You're in.
October,
first Saturday in October, which is, I don't know what the date is. Yeah, first Saturday. So we'll do that. That'd be great. I'd be glad to bring you, not bring you back, but get you here for the first time.
Right.
That'd be good. So tell us the name of your group. It's the same group, right? Or or you want to do solo?
Well, I'm going to be doing solo, Jett Edwards.
That's
I have some new projects coming out, that you're going to love.
Cool.
So yeah,
Hey, you heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first. Country Fest, Jett Edwards, he'll be there. That's great.
Definitely.
Awesome. That'd be fantastic. Okay, cool. So let's go into the format and let's kind of jump into some of the questions that we talk about. And what we're trying to do with the Greater Purpose podcast is to encourage guys in their walk with Christ. So in order to do that, we kind of like to know where guys are coming from, where they're going, where they've been, and what they've experienced. So when did you first recognize the importance of attempting to become a god? Because we're all attempting, none of us are there yet. Attempting to become a godly man.
Well, I mean, it was pretty much at a young age because I had a father who gave me that image.
Oh, cool.
And he, all throughout my life and even now, he has always been my hero.
Yeah.
So, I would say at the age of 14, I really stepped into my calling in a sense of wherein I knew that, I was going to follow God.
Yeah,
I mean, just follow the path that he laid out. So, and of course, just like anything else, you have your battles and different things. But I've always stayed in faith
and knew it
maintained.
was important.
I knew. I wouldn't just put here just to rumble, ramble or whatever. Yeah.
So you had a good example for that. So I don't want to assume that your dad would have been your biggest inspiration, but it sounds like
most definitely.
Yeah. So he was your biggest inspiration.
Oh yeah, most definitely, because I could see, he was a gospel singer and he was a man of God, and you could see, and I had 6 uncles, and a big family and a lot of people around me, so I was.
So they were keeping you in line, right?
Well, that too, but I was also observing, different behaviors, and then but at the end of the day, I always saw how they respected him. Gotcha. And you wonder why. And then I'm seeing that, and so so it's a difference.
Quite impactful.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. So your dad was your biggest. Is there anybody else that were your uncles?
All of them. I mean, all of them were, great. They were great men. My mother, she's a very strong woman as well, and led me down an educational path and preparation for a lot of things as well. My uncles were, in a different, some of them in different levels, and I respected that too, because they were masters of their own, their own game, should I say? And so it was fun. It was wonderful to see.
Listen, I've had guys who have had inspirations that have come from all walks of life. So, it's not. We want them to be godly, and God can turn it into a godly inspiration.
Sometimes your own can even turn out to be right. I mean, God can correct it, and it turns out to be good for someone else. So, I mean,
I learned the wrong thing from a lot of my but because of that, as I got older and when I found Christ, I realized those bad examples were exactly the opposite of what I should do.
Well, bad examples were good examples for me because I mean, I had cousins that did certain things and they tell me, if I ever catch you doing this, I might do it. But if I catch you doing it, I will beat you to death. And so
you didn't want to get.
I never did. I wouldn't cross that line. So that was, they were like, my cousins were like older, especially Leroy Adams and Daru Dodd. A couple of our cousins. They were very
kept you straight.
Oh yeah. And it's important, and that's another thing. A lot of kids don't have that today.
Right.
So,
guidance, right? And that can be within the church, within the family, in the community. So guys out there, you can be that guidance too. By the way, for those younger guys, young men, boys that need the guidance spiritually, emotionally, all that kind of stuff. So and even in a job, in a skill, you can show somebody a great skill that could carry into their ministry later.
That's right.
So, cool. All right, so how do you feel like, you had all this input from all these family members, inspiring you, keeping you straight, all that kind of stuff. How do you feel like from all that you've been most effective in taking that and turning it into something positive and inspirational for other men, specifically for men? I know you're inspiring all kinds of people with your music, but let's just say specifically for men. How do you think that builds into that?
Well, I mean, first of all, all of that helps build your character. It also, helps you to deal with, as men, we have some great responsibilities. We have a load on us, and I'm not going to say being black puts more of a load on you than any other race, but different cultures.
Well, have additional
but different cultures face different things in their own right. So that's that, and I can't tell you what it would be in a Caucasian body. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But and I grew up during the Jim Crow era.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you're still dealing with a lot of the
well, hey, it was right out there. So I mean,
and you
nobody was
hiding. So
nobody hid it. I mean, you had to go to color theaters or same theater, but you on the top, they on the bottom. So that was the meaningful type situation thing to deal with of its own. But I would say, for me, and I think it helped me to be stronger spiritually.
Right.
Okay. And to make sure that the way that I carried myself was very, important in a sense, because, back then, a lot of things could happen.
Sure.
If your temper was, incorrect or this or that or whatever, so it's helped me to, be stronger, and make right decisions, and not to say that, hey, I haven't made a lot of mistakes, but I haven't, I've been blessed enough to make a lot of the right decisions, because there have been times that I could have probably ended up in prison, just based on something stupid,
that wrong direction.
So, so it's been a good balance, and even the point, like right now today, I've been I've been living in Japan for over 30 years, and being back here, which I didn't want to come back.
No.
God sent me back. He threatened me too.
He'll do that, won't he? Yeah. Go back around.
And he'll do the one thing you don't want to happen. He said, if you don't, you won't succeed at anything. And I like to succeed every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want a day to go by that I haven't accomplished something. And he said, I'll let you live a long life.
Yeah.
But you'll not succeed at anything. So you might as well kill me, man.
He knew exactly what the trigger was.
So I came back, and it's been a challenge because man,
whole different.
It really is. I mean, almost I see America as becoming a third world country. Because a lot of us don't have the morals. We don't have the honor. We just wrapped up into these little things.
Yeah, ourselves.
That has no meaning.
Right. Yeah.
And so you don't even. And if you're in it, you don't like if you're used to being inside a bottle, you don't know what it's like to get out. And you've been conditioned.
It's true.
It's me trying to tell you is almost like I'm threatening you or something.
Well, that's why you did the podcast that you had, right?
I started this podcast called America Now, which is basically a view from the outside of America, looking in at America, trying to make people aware of, how social media, our government, how many things, and sometimes even the church, try to, hey, just condition you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. To see it the way they want you to see it, as opposed to seeing it the way that they really is. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's kind of sad. But you're back here to help change that.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm back here to do my part. You know, yeah,
right.
exactly. And one of the things that we're doing with that is, you know, we're kind of mentoring and with as I said, our organization is trauma based.
Yeah, tell us
and
about
so that. It's called the program that we have is called Journey to Healing. Okay. So you know, music was the most powerful, one of the most powerful instruments.
Sure.
Used during during the time.
Healing and soothing. And
and even tore down the walls of Jericho.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's true. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And destruction.
Yeah. Well, it can.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and it can. Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
Agree.
Yeah. So and if you learn how to use it, a lot of people use music therapy. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's man. And God don't like that. God said use instrumental healing.
Okay. Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Because we're instruments of His peace.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. I like that. That's it. So,
yeah. So anyway, what we've been doing is working with families and individuals that deal with trauma, and there are various forms of trauma, as you know. It can be the loss of a loved one. Your environment can be traumatic. Right. Your family can be traumatic.
Yeah. Look at teenage suicide rates and stuff like that.
Well, that's what I was just. That's jumped up. Yeah. In Japan, it's been a big thing because they would jump in front of the trains.
Yeah.
Because
their lockdowns were a lot more severe, I think. Right?
Yeah.
No.
It's sometimes. Japan is not a logical country.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
But they have more order
gotcha. So
and peace than we do.
Yeah. More compliance.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah, well, hey, I don't either, and it's not forced.
Yeah.
But it is taught. From the time that you are a kid.
Yeah,
see, the problem here is that we don't teach anybody anymore. You try to, but
the world is fighting against
that.
I
mean, and I remember when I was going to school. I mean, hey, I'll teach you would paddle you.
Yeah.
Or you have to sit in a corner or whatever.
Listen or else.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, nowadays, hey, they curse the teacher out. They do this, and so we are losing.
And then the parents come in and curse the teacher out. Yeah, they curse the teacher out. Yeah, and the kid goes home and plays video games.
Right. Yeah.
So, not in Japan.
No, I was a professor there too for 12 years, and when I walk in class, they would stand up, bow, domo sensei, student guys from all, thank you very much for coming and teaching us.
Wow, respect, appreciation and respect.
Oh yeah.
And I do remember some of that back when I was very, very young in school, where I really did have admiration and respect for teachers.
Yeah.
But somewhere in the early teens, that just changed. I was a rebel. So
I was a desperado.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, well, so early in my teens, that changed, and I do know that I did not see them with the same perspective that I do now. I do now, and I did back early on. But that was because it wasn't being taught, modeled, shown, enforced, that kind of stuff. So that's when they backed off on discipline and all that kind of stuff. So but anyway, all right. Well, so that see, we went down rabbit trails. That's what we're supposed to do. So that's cool. All right. So if you had to pick 5 different topical things, like they've already given us some men that have inspired you, and you already gave us your mom as an inspiration. But if you had to pick that or 5 heroes of the faith, or 5 favorite scriptures, or what would you want to throw at us there?
Well, I mean,
what inspires you daily and has inspired your life in any of those areas?
Well, I would say, as far as a scripture, I would say, seek and you shall find. Mm-hmm. So be careful what you're looking for. Be careful what you ask for, and also, be prepared.
Yeah.
Because uh, building a relationship with God is, man, you have to be checking yourself all the time.
Right.
You know, so, and I like one of the quotes, as far as an American, I would say, I like the quote that Kennedy made: ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
Oh, yeah. Right.
We all want trying to get something, and we think, because, oh, this happened to us, and I hate this equity, these new words.
Yeah.
I mean, where'd they come from, man? Where did all this stuff come?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the progressive movement. Right?
I mean,
we're not going to get political, but we all know.
Yeah. So anyway,
occasionally we do.
In other words, you don't have to be qualified, but you can get the job.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
If you can fly the plane, that's good enough. You don't have to learn how to land it.
Yeah. So right. Yeah. And then people like you or I or someone else who work hard.
Well,
we just get put to the side.
I understand there's disadvantages everywhere, but this is one thing.
But those are built in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are crippling.
They're creating. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right.
So, yeah.
But and as far as morally, I'm kind of a do unto others as you would have them do it to you kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'll give you, hey, the respect that you give if I feel you deserve it. I mean, if not, then I'm not I'm not going to disrespect you.
No.
But I don't have to be around you.
Sure. Right.
I mean, see, a lot of people think selfishness is a bad word. It's not.
No.
Selfishness to me means self-worth.
Yeah.
You know your value.
Yeah. Keeping yourself in check.
In check. That's right.
Health and emotionally, spiritually, who you're hanging out with, socially.
Exactly.
Yeah. I agree with that because a lot of people, I think, mistake the hierarchy of God comes first, and then your family. But to me, if you're not in that mix, you're not taking care of yourself. Then you can't take care of your family. You can't take care of your church. You can't take care of your job. So God wants you to take care of yourself. So that includes separating yourself from people that are not.
Exactly. I mean, He wants you to take care of yourself, but He wants you to love Him more than you love yourself.
Right, first.
Yeah. And that's how you take care of yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. There you go.
Because even when I was younger, man, I mean, I would, hey, I did my share of little drugs and stuff, and I would say, okay, Lord, hey, here's my tithes, and here's my money. Yeah. I need you to go with me over here. And let me get my thing. Yeah. And you make sure I get back okay.
Yeah.
I want to get back safely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Buying that.
But see, a lot of people don't want to put God into the senseless and bad things that they know they're doing.
Yeah.
I say, how can you do it without it?
Right. Yeah. Oh, I got that. Yeah. He brought me through some.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
but he did it because he had something better prepared for us.
Yeah.
So I believe he spared us from a lot of things
definitely.
That, so.
Definitely.
So, and going back to something you did say, a lot of people are not. They do pray. They do ask God. They are living for God. They are serving God, and they ask. And they seek, but then they don't. When it's right in front of them, they don't see it. God delivers. He promises He will. And then we walk right past it.
Well, that's the hard part, see?
Yeah.
Because we haven't trained our hearts to become strong enough and aware enough.
Yeah.
So I mean, we got to be able to see it. We got to be able to recognize it and then walk in it.
Yeah.
So that's
called discernment, right?
Yeah, man. And that's
staying in His Word and walking in the faith. Yep, for sure. Cool. All right. Yeah. So, and I did want to go back to one other thing, and then you can share anything else you want to before we do our wrap up stuff here. But you were talking about growing up like you did. Now I grew up outside of Chicago, so all of that was gone when I was a kid. There was literally no. I mean, I'm sure there was racism, but I didn't know. It wasn't known to me except for maybe some individuals who felt that way.
Right.
So a couple of things I want to say. Number one, I do see in you a man that is intertwined in cultures and races without having had any of that affect you negatively. And I'm just saying that's something I recognize in you because you could have very easily turned that outward and made it a negative.
A lifelong negative situation.
Which would have been just as bad for you as it would be for anybody else. So I think that's pretty cool. So, but anyway, so I just wanted to recognize that because you did go back to that, but I appreciate you for that. So that's pretty neat. All right. So now we go into the fun. Unless you wanted to share anything else you wanted to share.
Yeah. Well, hey, right now I'm working on a new project. God had given me a vision, which I was working on. I wrote the song for the Los Angeles Lakers in '85 called "Just Say No." That was during the Nancy Reagan campaign,
so you were like what, 6 years old?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, hey, it happens.
Let's see. In '85, I was 13, 14. I guess.
Okay, well, good. I was just 14, so I was good.
Right.
But that was during the time Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the Dream Team, Magic Johnson. So I took them all into the studio, and we done a recording called "Just Say No."
And it is out there, by the way, guys. Just Say No. You can Google it and you can watch the video and listen to it.
Yeah. And so I did a contract with did a thing with HBO. Shaquille O'Neal wanted to put the song into his documentary, and it's called Shaq. And so I'm like, wait a minute, now it's time. This is because this is 35 years ago or more, and so I didn't even get a penny from that because it was a donation to the for the community, and so I took the funds from that, from the royalties from HBO, and I said, okay, God, what you want me to do with this? And he said, sow it. I said, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna sow it back into the community. Right. So I started writing and rewriting the song, and then that's when this came. Okay, stop the killing. There you go. Start the healing.
Right.
Because
can we see that? Stand up. Let them see that.
Right.
Stop the killing, start the healing. Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can go to believerstoday.org. I just finished mastering the song. And matter of fact, I may throw a snippet in there for you. You can play it in the background.
That'd be cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I went to Cali Joe's, and one of the icon line dancers. I asked them to create a line dance because I want to shoot the video in the communities where the gun violence is happening. And then families coming out of their house with the police and everybody walking down the street singing "Stop the Killing, Start the Healing."
You got it all in your head, right?
Yeah, all day, man. So that's the project that we're doing. I have a 1961 Greyhound bus. I'm restoring, and we need donations. Yeah, we need it.
And then you can bring it to Country Fest.
I'm putting up in it, man. But the cool thing about it is that we're going to have a music production studio in there and a film. Okay. So we can work with kids. Actually, we're going to be working with them on conflict resolution and different types of traumatic type things. But they won't even know it's been happening because what they're going to do is write short stories.
Right.
And they're going to have to work together. That's cool. And they're going to have to resolve their differences. Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And then they'll have a short film. Then they'll have a short film to do at the end of the 2 or 3 months program. That'd be cool. Well, you need to come and join us with the program.
Yeah, there you go. I'm on the road. Here we go.
Yeah, and we're gonna be we'll have our own program broadcast from the bus.
Oh, cool.
While we're on the road.
Oh, wow. That'd be cool. Good deal. So pretty neat stuff. All right. Got some good stuff going on. That's great. Well, listen, now you're going to give us a sports related story, but before you do that, we'll let you think about that for a minute. Before you do that, you get some parting gifts. I'll bet you didn't know that.
I didn't know it.
You do. You get some parting gifts. So first parting gift is this valuable, expensive, high...
But it's what I need. No, I just ran out yesterday.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
This in
my
what God does.
In my
well, as you can see, though, it's what it is shameless plug for my businesses. So Mr. Bill STEM Education and Bill Ward Photography.
Okay,
anyway, but it's also a useful. See there.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it.
That's one of your parting gifts. Then you will also receive. I will autograph and number this number 75. Because my producer, Stephen Wright, says that if I autograph it, it'll be worth exactly what it is when you walk out of here.
Well, it doesn't lose its value. That's the positive way to say that.
It does not lose its value. Absolutely. But I will autograph that before you leave and send it your way. And also, you get to choose a Lego superhero. Now, I have mine, Iron Man. So this is my superhero.
Okay.
You can't have him, but you get to choose one. And you say to yourself, why a Lego superhero, right? You were saying
well, I was.
I know you were. I know you were.
I sure was.
Right.
You read my mind. You're doing good.
Right.
You're doing good. I give you the credit for that.
Now, the reason is, there's two reasons. Number one,
okay.
STEM, science, technology, engineering. The E is for engineering.
Okay.
So, engineering means you will have to build your own superhero. So, not here, though.
Okay.
You can,
you can do
that.
I'm not staying overnight.
You can do that. But it's also because we believe the guys that come through here on the Greater Purpose Podcast, in God's eyes, are superheroes.
Okay.
So you get to choose. Now listen, there's a boatload in here. I've got.
I don't want to know. I'm just going to reach in.
Oh, I like that.
I don't want to know what.
All right, that's even better. Okay. Drum roll. What is it? Who is it? Oh no, dude, that's crazy. That's Nick Fury. You got
what does Nick Fury do?
From Marvel. He's like the guy. He's like the boss, the head man. That's what perfect.
When I go back to Japan, and I go to my office, I'm the boss.
Tell him you're Nick Fury. Yeah, that's a great choice right there. See, I would have picked him. So, all right, now you got to give us a sports-related story. That doesn't mean you had to play it. You either watched it, you experienced it, you were around it, or you could have played it. So, what do you think? Give us a
sports-related story.
Sure.
Wow, man.
I mean, we've had Michael Jordan stories, we've had Dale Earnhardt stories, we've had.
Well, I can give you a story. When I was recording the song "Stop the Killing,"
there you go, yeah.
Okay, with the Los Angeles Lakers, I had the pleasure of meeting this whole team.
Yeah.
And we had schedules in the studio, recording studio.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to write each part for each player.
Oh wow.
And get into the character, the whole thing, and then record it so they could hear what it's supposed to sound like.
Wow,
even like James Worthy, they did like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic. Okay, everybody showed up in the studio, except one player,
and that was
Oh
gosh, back then. Oh my goodness. Let's see. That was 85. Was it not Michael Jordan? No. Who wasn't? Who was supposed to be there?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, he didn't show up. Okay.
But he came in. He did come and do his part.
Oh, he did.
But not when they.
He did it on his own.
Well, he's a superstar. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why Kareem didn't come, but
he did it on his own terms.
Yeah, but he's an artist too. So he's
okay. So he's a singer.
Well, he was in the music, different things.
Okay. Cool.
Yes, but yeah, that's pretty much my.
That's cool. That's sports related. I like it. So, how did they fit all those guys in the studio?
Oh wow!
Would you be a really big studio?
Yeah. We did it with Capitol Records. Capitol Records sponsored the whole thing, and along with George Duke. I mean, and we had lots of children in there recording as well, doing the music video and stuff like that. So
I didn't listen. I learned the kids on that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go back and redo stuff. Just say no, because there's a lot of things we need to just say no to. Vaping, a lot of things, and kind of get the schools involved and get kids to draw an example of what, and then bring them into the recording studio, and I'm gonna redo the song.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
that's cool. All right, well, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
We'll get Bill Ward if we can afford him. Get him to come in,
and do what?
Take pictures.
I can do that. That's one of my contributions to a lot of community and campaign stuff.
Thank you for everything you do.
Well, I appreciate you.
You really do have a lot of powerful events that you do, and you're doing a lot for the community. And we got to do more to bring our communities together.
Well, and that's the tie-in with what we do here, with the men's breakfast, with the men's conference, that kind of thing, and with what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
There are so many men that are doing great things for God and for the community and in Christ's name that we feel like people need to know that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So that's
and one of these days I want us to skip breakfast, or I'll bring breakfast and we'll work on a project.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
It could be the bus.
Hey, that'd be
could
cool.
be something, or maybe go to the community, because I saw on the news where a lady said she was afraid to even come out of her own house.
Yeah.
We could go there and just walk around and make sure that they're happy for that.
Right, that'd be cool. I like that.
Yeah,
That's neat.
police the neighborhood.
See there? See? Inspiration right there. That's awesome.
There we go.
Let's do it.
We're greater in numbers.
Well, Jett, I appreciate you being here.
My pleasure,
Thanks
brother.
for your time. Looking forward to Country Fest.
Hey, I'll be
Jett
there.
Edwards at Country Fest.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be awesome.
We
Put that on your calendar, guys. So now remember, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Help us out. Let's get the numbers up there. It's been a great year and a half so far, and you guys have been a blessing to us. Oh, shout out to my co-producer, Donna Ward. She's the most awesome woman in the whole wide world. She critiques every single podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder why she's the greatest woman in the world.
Because she's my wife. I'm not sure about her choice in husbands, but hey, other than that, she has impeccable taste. Right? So,
she did good. She did good.
But anyway, thank you for being here, Jett.
Thank you,
Thank you guys for being here. God bless. Take care. We'll see you next week on the Greater Purpose Podcast.